side. Top of the table, Melbourne City were defeated by Adelaide United on Saturday and have shown wobbly form this season. Meanwhile, bottom of the table, Western Sydney Wanderers travelled to control Cyber Pitch today on the back of consecutive wins, including a drought-breaking derby triumph against Sydney FC on the weekend. Can the Wanderers prove that they have decisively turned a corner, or will City simply prove too strong? It's 26 degrees at kick-off today, a little bit windy in the southeast, but not so much that it should seriously impact the game. The two sides striding out into the middle. We'll take a look at the sides. There are two changes for Melbourne City. Holly McNamara and Letitia McKenna both drop out. Melbourne City have just cited rotation for those two changes. Replacing them are Briley Henry and Alexia Apostolakis. For the Western Sydney Wanderers, there is one change. It is injury enforced. Holly Caspers is out after having to come off the pitch in the Sydney Derby last week. And last week's goal scorer, Alyssa Insard, comes in to replace her. The Wanderers are yet to confirm the extent of that injury to Caspers. We'll go down pitch side now as we commemorate the life of former Melbourne City coach Rado Vidicic.
We join the wider football community in remembering Rado and extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends and loved ones. In recognition of his contribution to our football club and to Australian football, we ask if you are able to please stand and join us in a moment of applause for Rado Vidicic.
Of course, the first home game for Melbourne City after the passing of the great Rado Vidicic. Well, it's a big day today for Alexia Apostolakis. She played 52 times for the Western Sydney Wanderers at the beginning of her career. She was actually their youngest ever goal scorer when she scored against the Jets in February 2022. She was 15 years old and 179 days back then. She is one of 3 players at City who have played at Western Sydney Wanderers. None have come the other way. And it's a 50th A-League Women's appearance today for Talia Younis. At the time of her debut, she was the youngest player in the league, now eclipsed by former teammate Istia Brooking and, of course, this season, Sydney FC's Willa Pearson. But she's coming into her own this campaign, scoring her first goal and looking a massive creative threat. Michael Matriciani was unusually subdued after City's defeat last week, only the 3rd in his tenure, and of course the 3rd home and away defeat of this campaign. He explained that he was confident that the team would resolve what they had to work on by the end of the season. He's also contending, of course, without Leah Davidson and Laura Hughes, who are still both weeks away from returning from injury. The central official today is Caitlin Williams. She's assisted by Daniela Anderson and Laura Moya. The 4th official today is Puya Gadarian. Well, Jeff Abrahams achieved something that no Wanderers coach had done in 6 years on Saturday, winning a Sydney derby. It was a monumental achievement. Now his task is keeping his side on track for what would be a 3rd consecutive 3 points. Of course, any point today for the Wanderers will lift them above the bottom of the table as well, at least temporarily. Sydney FC, of course, playing tonight, but that is prize enough. And of course, if they can string a few more wins together, there's nothing to say that they can't make a late run into that top 6. That will be the ultimate hope for this campaign if they can get there. Well, Melbourne City will get us underway in their home kit. They are going from left to right on your screen. The defending premiers, top of the table, looking to extend their lead. And straight away, Shelby McMahon has an effort from the edge of the area. Almost danger signs immediately for the Wanderers. They managed to scramble it away. And as much as it is the Wanderers who come into this game in form, it is Melbourne City, still 2 points clear on top of the table. Still the team to beat, the team to chase, really the benchmark in this competition. They have been that for the last couple of seasons. And they will not let that slip away this afternoon. No doubt wanting to remind the competition of that fact. And Chisari on the ball there for the Wanderers. Of course, scored her first ever Ninja A-League goal last week. It was a timely one. A drought-breaking goal for the Wanderers. Their first goal against Sydney FC in 6 years. It was a ripper too from outside the penalty area. Matos playing it down the line to Kong. Now back to Matos. Apostolakis trying to chase her down. Matos will keep it in. Yuan Kong, Chinese international, doing really well. Trying to evade Stott. In the end, too many blue shirts around. High tempo start to this game. Chisari. Switch play. Harrison. Poppy hooks. Anna Harada has space to work with here. Harada towards Eunice. Couldn't get a touch on it. Listening in to the Melbourne City bench, not happy with the amount of space that Harada had there. She can shoot from distance, she's been known to do so. But also in that circumstance, the run of Talia Eunice, the 17-year-old, her 50th Ninja A-League appearance today. The other player on the pitch hitting that milestone today is Devon Jackson of Melbourne City, but Eunice there made a really nice run. The ball just had a little bit too much juice on it for her. Long ball from Mires. Shinaza Uchendu, Nigerian international, was chasing after it, couldn't get there, and now the Wanderers in transition, perhaps. Good work by City's midfield. Here is Jackson in her 50th game in the competition. Apostolakis. Riley Henry. Nice turn from McMahon. Apostolakis goes to ground and gives the ball away. Wanderers looking to break quickly. Eunice Kong is in space, but Mires alert to the danger. That is what Melena Mires can bring. That pass was errant, but she was brought into this City side as a renowned sweeper keeper, played youth international football for Spain. Her style of goalkeeping can help City play the kind of football that they want to play. The Wanderers have been playing a narrow formation for a lot of this season. What that's meant is that they're able to pack the midfield and make it very difficult for teams to play through them. When they beat the Mariners a couple of games ago, it proved very challenging for the Mariners to break them down. Against a team like City, they'll hope that it provides them opportunities to win the ball in that packed midfield and play it quickly forward. You'll note players like Danica Matos, who has the ball in hand at the moment, will be crucial as their width. That's a long throw from Matos. Yuan Kong turning on the ball, can only be cleared away for another throw. Eunice, nice touch. Chisari, back to Eunice. Eunice's delivery, Mires punches it away. He has a tendency to punch rather than catch, Mires. Got enough distance on it that time. Devon Jackson almost getting there ahead of Hooks. McMahon, the player who eventually comes away with the ball. McMahon started for the first time in a long time on the weekends after missing a couple of months of the season with a knee injury. It's good to see her starting in consecutive games this week. Up the line again for the Wanderers. Ball played through. Matos is overlapping. Eunice instead will get there, trying to find space for a shot. Mirez can claim. Talia Eunice looking dangerous today. It was good work to get away from Riley Henry and get the shot away. Mirez well positioned. Eunice, of course, set to be a key part of the Young Matildas campaign, the Under-20 Asian Cup, and they will hope if they qualify the Under-20 World Cup this year as well. Scott's ball over the top goes to no one but Karmas. There's a number of players on the pitch who will be in the running to be in that squad, on both sides, of course. Long ball over the top, stealing in behind for the Wanderers was Ansard. Put enough pressure on Mirez to almost force the ball to be turned over. Jackson for City. No one out there on the wing. Riley Henry, the player who was tasked to go after it, but she was back doing her defensive duties. She's quick, Riley Henry. Not that quick. Ross back in across to Taylor Otto, the American, last season City Player of the Year. Formed a very reliable centre-back partnership with Rebecca Stott, who was named this morning in the most recent Football Ferns squad in New Zealand. There's a bit of controversy last time out that Stott wasn't named. Great to see her back in that lineup. Devin Jackson as well from City in that squad. Keeping an eye on the way that the Wanderers are lining up against City when City have possession. You'll notice that pressing isn't just about moving towards the player with the ball under all circumstances. What they'll try and do is move City into certain areas of the pitch and make it difficult for them to play through. Look at all those players in the centre of the park for the Wanderers. What that means is it'll be extra difficult for City to play through them. And if they can win the ball back, they can break away in transition and attempt to score a goal of their own. Ross back in, forced to play it back to Stott. Rebecca Stott in a bit of space. She'll launch it forward to Uchendu. Uchendu coming back inside, looking for options. Ross back in. Across to Dan Turner. Devin Jackson putting on the afterburners, trying to get there ahead of Ella Buchanan. Buchanan keeps it in. And Turner put a hopeful ball into the box, which is cleared away rather straightforwardly. Another long ball from Stott. It's a really important part of Melbourne City's attack, Rebecca Stott. Jackson, Uchendu. Shinaza Uchendu gets away from one. Forced to backtrack. Now we'll switch play. Briley Henry. Kostelakis. Her delivery towards the back post. Goes out of play for a goal kick. Kostelakis coming back into the starting lineup today. She was on the bench on the weekend for the first time this season. Straight back in today. Such a quality young player. Who's made her Matilda's debut against Panama last year. A reward for her consistency in this competition and how she has really gone up another level since joining Melbourne City. So there's probably the best image we've had of the Wanderers in the way that they're trying to play today. It's almost like a 5-4-1 in defence, and then Eunice or Saad will move forward to press alongside Yuan Kong. That ball launched forward and cleared away. What it does do is it forces City to play direct. Now they've created a couple of half chances, not even probably quarter chances from this so far, but you can see as the game goes on from the likes of Stott, they will play these more direct long balls and hope that their players can get in behind. McMahon trying to turn away. Kostelakis. Back to Stott. Otto out wide to Turner and then back. Cross back in, trying to force it forward. It's intercepted by Ansad, but City win it back through Jackson and then Stott. After the Wanderers defeated the Mariners a week and a half ago, hold that thought as City look to make their way forward. In the post-match interview, we asked Mariners striker Annalise Rasmussen, who of course now has moved to Juventus in a massive move for the competition, but she said that what the Mariners needed to do to break down the low block of the Wanderers was just to be a bit more patient. City can be patient. They've played a lot of teams who have gone with this tactic against them in the past, and they generally do find a way through. We saw this a lot more last season. Kostelakis. Back to Stott. Of course, Holly McNamara, who is equal on top of that Golden Boot race with Rasmussen, now will be expected to pull ahead given Rasmussen's transfer. She starts on the bench today. No injury concerns. City deciding rotation. A 3-game week means that she was rested alongside Letitia McKenna, who's also moved to the bench. So there is more firepower to draw on if required later in the game. Cerner can't quite get on the end of that. The Wanderers have already put their stake in the ground of exactly what their game plan is today. And see if they can find a way to hold City at arm's length and then create chances of their own as a result. And there is Holly McNamara watching on the bench today. Again, no injury, just a bit of rotation, protecting one of their strongest assets for the rest of the season. This intense fixture scheduling. Of course, City had a lot of games to catch up on because of their participation in the Asian Women's Champions League. Well, there's a high interception. It's 18 Keane through to Uchendu. Chinaza Uchendu appeals for handball, and then appeals for Uchendu having a handball. In the end, it'll come to Sham Karmas. Let's take a look at this again. It was smart work from Keane to steal in behind. Played a good ball to Uchendu, and then, well, it certainly hit the hand of Amy Harrison. The question is, was it in an unnatural position? Let you be the judge at home as to whether that was the case. Well, potentially a big moment in this match. Things remain as they are. Great to see the support out on a Wednesday afternoon at Control Cyber pitch, southeast of Melbourne. Really nice footballing weather. Being in the afternoon doesn't dampen the enthusiasm of any of the fans who have come out. Really nice to see them providing the noise and a bit of colour in the background of this game. 72% possession for City so far. That certainly passes the eye test. They're looking for more effective ways to use it. You find one here, Keane. She'll earn her side the first corner of the afternoon. And the first chance from a set piece for Melbourne City here. Alexia Apostolakis, the player to take. To be an in-swinging corner. Here's a great view to watch the game. The groundsman there in the ute. Lovely view of this corner. Apostolakis, one arm in the air. Her delivery is dangerous. It'll slide towards the back post. Wanderer's body's flying everywhere. And Stott, though, not able to get it past the combined efforts of Talia Yunus and Wang Ying. Yunus does exceptionally well to play it into the body of Briley Henry and take it back for a Karmas goal kick. Briley Henry, 22 years of age now. 6 appearances in total for the Matildas. Most recent coming last year. She went on a fantastic run of goal-scoring form towards the end of last season. She's always had plenty of talent. Briley Henry, she's another one whose career started at the Wanderers. That was where she was when she was first capped by the Matildas. There's a long ball looking for Uchendu. Good control. She'll wait, watch for options as Wanderers players flood back. Ross back in. What about the long shot? McMahon back to Ross back in. And that pass intercepted by Buchanan. Melissa Barbieri always provides a soundtrack to Melbourne City games. Of course, not only backup goalkeeper, also goalkeeping coach. So very much a part of the team providing feedback. Meanwhile, her side, Melbourne City, have a free kick in an advantageous position. And that's because Ella Buchanan brought 18 Keane to ground. That's something that 18 Keane is very, very good at. She wins a lot of fouls, especially in those sorts of areas. She's won a couple of penalties, but it's just because as a defender, you know that she can accelerate and take off around you. You're desperate to not let her past to create the opportunity, and that's how the fouls are created. So Apostolakis to take. Will it be a conventional delivery? And swinging towards the back post. Henry will get there and try and keep it alive. Karmas will come out and prevent the corner. So another attacking foray repelled by the Wanderers. Chisari wins out off McMahon. Now this ball up the line and Sard off and chasing. Dan Turner does well to get her body in the way. The English veteran Turner, 34 years of age, started every game this year. They're on a 2-year deal as well. Plenty of top flight English experience in her career. It was quite the coup actually for City when they signed her for that reason. Now here come the Wanderers press. It's exactly that situation that they're looking to turn the ball over. When City are comfortable in possession and playing out from the back, they'll let them come towards them. But when things are a bit disorganised and in disarray, that's when they can pounce, and they've won the throw in a very good area. Buchanan in front of those Melbourne City fans will take the throw. Eunice's header can only dribble into the path of Mirez. Inventive use of the trumpet there to put off the throw. Well, that's certainly one way you can try and distract the opponent. Probably not the most fun part of the pitch for a Wanderers player to have a throw. Kostelakis out to Turner. Rosbacken. Her ball looking to switch play, intercepted by Eunice. Stott came forward to try and create something. The Wanderers won possession, but
as we get there, stay a little bit wider. And then as it recycles, get wide.
I believe that was the voice of Michael Matriciani there, just saying get a little bit wider. As it recycles, stay wide. What he means there is you're looking to create width when you have the ball with you. It's one of the things you teach youngsters when they're first learning the game. When you have the ball, you want width. When you don't have the ball, you want to compress the field, obviously, make it smaller. Just reminding his players there, this is the way we get around this dense pack of Wanderers players. They've created one very credible penalty shout, but still nothing clear-cut as of yet for City. Could this be the moment? Uchendu. Aideen Keane. Driving forward against Buchanan. She beats Buchanan. The ball across the face. Wang Ying is there. Can only clear it back to Keane, whose cross is blocked. Now Rosbacken being harassed by Chisari. Turner into McMahon. Have City followed their coach's instructions and stayed wide? I think they have. Kostelakis. McMahon, Chisari, great work to win it back. She's really targeting Shelby McMahon. Couldn't keep a hold of the ball there though. Turner. Devin Jackson will go chasing after it. Bradley Henry. Thinking about what to do here against Matos. Played in for Kostelakis. A bit of confusion in the Wanderers' defence. Couldn't find the space to shoot though. Now perhaps thinking about the long shot was Rosbacken. Instead, she'll keep the ball played out wide again. Turner. And all the way back. And these are the moments where the Wanderers want to capitalise. They can't do so there. It's not fouled. As we take a look at the final third entries, 27 for City, 9 for the Wanderers. And this is it, just where the likes of Yuan Kong or Insard or Amy Chisari just step forward, win the ball, and then they want to spring forward in numbers. City have been alert to the danger though so far. Right there, Chisari has one out, and then she'll launch it forward to Kong, but Stott immediately started dropping as soon as she saw Chisari step forward, and that's the experience of Rebecca Stott. She was always a couple of steps ahead of Yuan Kong there. Now City perhaps can spring forward quickly themselves before the Wanderers can get organised again, but Buchanan has done well, and she's played the ball straight back to Devon Jackson. Henry. And that pass goes to absolutely no one. The Wanderers will have a goal kick. Well, about halfway through the first half, it's been a game of very few chances so far. Perhaps the one incident of note being that handball shout against Amy Harrison. But apart from that, been a little bit of a game of cat and mouse. Wanderers sitting deep, allowing Melbourne City to have the ball. At the same time, City have been very alert to the danger in transition that the Wanderers possess. Eunice chasing after this one. Stott will get there first, taken out of play. So the Wanderers will win the throw in their attacking half. Eunice really the only option nearby. Jasari coming in to help now. Instead, launch it over to Yuan Kong. Eunice goes for the spectacular. Doesn't quite catch it. She is more than capable of it. We saw it. Her first goal in the competition against the Central Coast Mariners earlier in the season. Couldn't catch that one. Now the long ball direct. Looking for Uchendu. It was headed away though. And Harada picks it up for the Wanderers in midfield. Harada herself will go long. This time it's Apostolakis who's dropping, and Stott heads it back to the keeper. Abraham's encouraging his side to keep the ball when they win it rather than just instinctively hitting it long. Again, that's something the coaches talk about, is effective possession.
Studies on! Studies on! Quicker!
Sometimes the most effective option is a quick, direct ball. Sometimes, though, when you're just kicking it into space, there's not really an effective option at all. Jasari. And a Harada. Bobby hooks. The Wanderers create something out of possession from defence. Chendu's ready to try and win the ball back. Was that penalty shout that happened earlier came off the back of 18 Keane winning the ball high. So that's what City are hunting for now. Wanderers perhaps look more comfortable out of possession than in it at the moment. And again, that's intercepted in midfield. Matos taking it off Henry. Eunice. Harada. Poppy hooks. Hooks 20 years of age. Her second season in the A-League, not consecutively. Hooks played a season at the Glory at 16 years of age. Came to the Wanderers via NPL New South Wales. Here's City intercepting high, and that ball looking for Henry, intercepted. They can go again here though, before the Wanderers defenders get back, but taking perhaps a little bit too much time. Rossbacken, Jackson. Rossbacken again, Uchendu goes to grounds. No foul, says the referee. So the Wanderers off and running, and Saad. Eunice, the furthest forward player. Yuan Kong there in support as well. Instead waits for the run of Buchanan. And that's probably not what Jeff Abrahams had in mind when he was urging his team to keep possession. Managed to give it away there, and City can't break quickly. Apostolakis. Eunice back, tracking back and doing exceptionally well to win the throw. Now, we've already seen today why Talia Eunice has had so many raps on her this season. She's been a bright spark for the Wanderers through the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. And when she debuted, she was the youngest player of all time in the competition, now back to third. But it's been the amount of games she's had. She's still only 17 years of age, playing her 50th today. Here's Buchanan. Things might be breaking here for the Wanderers. Players streaming into the box. A disappointment for Buchanan, who had broken into space. Her cross was blocked by Turner, straight back into her knee. She couldn't control it and went out for a goal kick. Promising signs, though, for the visitors. Moves back in, being put under pressure by Chisari. Shelby McMahon in space for City. She can keep running. Instead, she'll play in Jackson. Turner, Uchendu is looking for that quick ball back to Jackson, but Chisari so often in the right position. Amy Chisari will have a bit of trouble here, playing it out of danger, the Wanderers. They've managed to do so just about, even though City will win the throw. Danica Matos, a Wanderers legend. She became the first player this season to make 100 appearances in red and black in the Ninja A-League. It's been a stalwart of this side for the last 5 or 6 seasons. Turner. Otto. And Stott. Will she take this space? Will she go for the long ball? She'll try and play it in for Ross Backin, who was fouled by Wang Ying. So an opportunity just about in shooting range for City here. Bit of an arm wrestle there between Wang Ying and Ross Backin. It's Ross Backin who comes away on top, winning the free kick. Well, this is certainly shooting range for Alexia Apostolakis. Sham Karmas, highly experienced, 30 years of age. This is her 104th competition appearance, so she will set her players, her wall exactly where she wants it. Only Chisari standing between Apostolakis and the keeper. Perhaps Karma's not expecting a shot. Let's see. One arm in the air for Apostolakis, looking at her teammates. That's where she'll lift it. Header one by Wang Ying. Put back into the mixer, Yuan Kong able to clear away, and Eunice goes to ground. Henry a little bit too forceful in her attempts to win back the ball. Yeah, pretty clear foul there from Briley Henry. Was inside one of the goal scorers last week against Sydney FC. A moment that she'll remember forever. Matos. Eunice can't beat Apostolakis. Because for a lot of these Wanderers players, these academy players, there was a long time between drinks between the Wanderers defeating Sydney FC. It means so much to them, that derby. But again, it's about backing it up here today and for the rest of the season if they are to get off the foot of the table. Yuan Kong goes to ground, tries to keep possession somehow, and does really well because the Wanderers have won themselves a corner. That's great work from Yuan Kong. Great hustle from the 25-year-old. Came to the club a couple of games into the season along with Wang Ying, both Chinese internationals from Jiangdong in the Chinese Super League. Eunice will take this corner for the Wanderers. It's gone to the back post, and it's gone all the way into the net off the unfortunate 18 Keane. The visiting Western Sydney Wanderers take the lead against Melbourne City. And it's come as the result of an own goal. Well, it was a well-directed corner, and Keane got her body positioning all wrong at the back post. That's a devastating moment for Keane. And what it does do is it'll lift the Wanderers. It's been a game of very few opportunities. They've scored the goal in a fortunate way. And now with the lead, they'll have even more incentive to continue this low block and continue holding City at arm's length, which is what they have been doing for 36 minutes. It is almost a worst-case scenario for Melbourne City in this situation when they've had all the possession. They just haven't been able to fashion the chances to find a way through. It's the Wanderers who score a goal in that kind of fashion. That's a difficult one for City. How do they get themselves back in the game? They'd love an equaliser at least before the halftime break, just to inject a little bit of energy, a little bit of life into this game. Now, there have been all sorts of teams who have broken droughts against Melbourne City this season. Wanderers not really among them if they were to get the 3 points today. As Henry drives into the penalty area, perhaps looking for a shooting angle. Uchendu can't get appropriate contact to guide it towards goal. In last season, City did do the double over the Wanderers, but the season before, it was the Wanderers who were on top, so it hasn't been so long between drinks. The Wanderers have actually beaten Melbourne City 5 times, which may surprise some people, given the trajectory of both clubs in the history of Melbourne City's existence. City have come on top 11 times. Apostolakis, she'll lift one, looking for the spectacular. Shamkarmas is comfortably there. Now 7 minutes plus stoppages to go in this first half. Melbourne City have got to find a way to lift. Of course, on the bench, Holly McNamara, Letitia McKenna, they could both make a huge difference in this game whenever they are introduced. Matrichani wanting more out of his starting 11, though, to try and force the issue. We have not seen a lot from them today in terms of attacking intent. Perhaps intent's the wrong word. They've tried to break down this Wanderers' low block, but they found it very challenging. Taylor Otto stepping forward, playing it into Uchendu. Jackson around the corner, 18 Keane. Jackson. Poppy Hooks has done so well there to prevent the shot. Maybe now, though, it's just toe poked wide. Again, a look at that Melbourne City bench. Letitia McKenna, Holly McNamara looking on. Ellie Wilson, the English player as well, who was introduced to the competition as a fullback, is now playing as a forward. You can expect her to come on at some stage. Caitlin Carrick, she's got the spectacular in her boots, but only 2 appearances so far this season after struggling with a knee injury. Kaya Jugovic, the 17-year-old, only 1 appearance for her in the competition. She could be called upon as well. Yuan Kong. Not quite sure whether that was a pass or a shot. Either way, didn't have the intended effect. Kong scored 2 goals this season. She scored against Perth Glory and Sydney FC, but Again, she's just looked good. She's managed to lift this Wanderers side, and there was always a sense that once these players got settled in, that the Wanderers' fortunes would turn around. Apostolakis. Riley Henry. Henry's delivery has gone over Uchendu, but it's come out to Devon Jackson, who hits it high. Now the Kiwi international expected to hit the target there. This is a teasing ball across. Uchendu couldn't get there, but Jackson was in space. She's cut inside. It was good work from Poppy Hooks again to put her off the shot and make things a bit more complicated. Jackson, 27 years of age. She's from Auckland originally. Started her A-League career at Canberra United in 2023-24 before moving to Newcastle last season. And now here at Melbourne City, making her 11th appearance. No goals yet for her new club. Very familiar with Melbourne, though. She's spent the last few seasons in the NPLW Victoria for Box Hill and for Essendon Royals. She looks just a level above in the NPL, which is not unexpected for A-League quality players, let alone international caliber players. And they're just not quite yet able to see that in a Melbourne City shirt. She's got it there. Imagine the first goal for the club is coming. Another attacking option for City, Danella Buttress, out of the matchday squad today. It's her 4th game out of their matchday squad after suffering a concussion. She was named in the extended squad this week and last game as well. So hopefully not too far away from a return. Uchendu using everything she has to try and hold off Chisari there. Does well. Rebecca Stott. Riley Henry. Will she drive into the box herself? Will she look to find an option? She's forced backwards. Stott has come a long way forward here to help out in this attack. And Eunice doing her defensive duties, winning the ball. This is this effort from Uchendu here. Good strength was the cry from the bench, and it was. It was really good use of the body to hold Chisari off. Rossbakken. Been here plenty of times before in this half city. Can they make it count before the halftime break? Jackson back to Apostolakis. Shelby McMahon. Still McMahon. Just thinking about the shot, but was just marshalled away. Wasn't able to strike it cleanly. Uchendu. McMahon. And Turner not able to get it under her control, which gives possession back to the Wanderers. Less than 1 minute plus stoppages to go in this half. Can City fashion a clear-cut chance before the break? That is what they've been looking for all half, but it has been an incredibly disciplined Western Sydney Wanderers so far, who have taken the lead and who are doing a very, very good job at the moment of holding it. We're hearing just the 1 minute of stoppage time to come. So perhaps time for one last roll of the dice for City before the break. So confirmation, 1 minute for Melbourne City to get themselves back into the game before halftime. Can they find a way through this low block? Put themselves in a much better position at halftime, a much kinder halftime team talk, you would imagine. I'll work from the back. Rebecca Stott. The two centre backs combining. Apostolakis. Jackson. Briley Henry. Been caught out here a number of times. Jackson again. Harada tracking her run. Great work from Jackson. The cutback cleared away only as far as Stott. McMahon. Through to Turner. Hooks on her case and takes it out of play. So at halftime, it is the Western Sydney Wanderers who came into this game bottom of the table, who have the 1-goal advantage against top of the table Melbourne City. It came via an own goal from a corner. An unfortunate deflection off 18 Keane. He just got her positioning all wrong at the back post. It's been a disciplined, effective half from the Wanderers. At halftime, it is Melbourne City 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. We'll take a look back at how that first half played out. It started at an incredibly high tempo for the first few moments. City advanced forward, and then the Wanderers having some chances of their own. Talia Younis looked the liveliest among the Wanderers players. She was absolutely everywhere. She's so quick, deceptively so. The teenager was able to get in behind. This is potentially a controversial moment. 18 Keane did really well to nip in and win the ball here. Then Uchendu, as she looked to have the shot, and the ball appeared to come off the hand of Amy Harrison. But whether or not her arm was in a natural position or not, that was the judgment of the referee. No penalty, and then here was the goal. The in-swinging corner went all the way through towards the back post, and it's just bounced awkwardly into 18 Keane and into the back of the net. That's the only goal of the half so far, and it gave the Wanderers the lead. City had their best opportunity here, and it came off the boot of Devon Jackson, who wasn't able to hit the target after this cross from Briley Henry. It was good work to cut inside away from hooks, but could not find the frame of goal. So halftime stats tell a story. 72% possession to Melbourne City. Wanderers very happy to sit in a low block and absorb the pressure. Passing accuracy, 88% for City. That is very high even for them, but they have not been able to create the opportunities and make it count. And that is what will need to change in the second half. Welcome back to Control Cyber Pitch in Melbourne, where it is currently the visiting Western Sydney Wanderers, leading Melbourne City 1-0. Well, last Friday at Scarborough Beach in Perth, there was a special event to mark 1 month to go until the Women's Asian Cup. We sent Nick Stoll along to all the festivities.
Well, it is 1 month to go until the Women's Asian Cup starts here on Perth soil. The very first game of the tournament, the Matildas up against the Philippines.
Go Matildas! Well, one thing about it is it's in the best place in the world, and that's Western Australia. You couldn't get anything better than that.
Oh, it's incredible. It's, 60,000 people. Hopefully it's at Optus. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. We saw how good it was when the Matildas played the Philippines here last time. The sellout crowd, the noise the crowd generates with K-pop Demon Hunter here as well. It's puts Perth on the map.
As a player before I used to play, how well you played was really determined on how prepared you are. We are prepared. I will say we've delivered a tournament in 18 months instead of 14 years, but we're riding off the back of the love of the Matildas, so we've got good runs on the board.
It's not just Australia that's going to be here. There are 11 other nations that are going to come here to Perth.
Welcome to the stadium. Get your ticket as soon as possible.
We already bought a ticket since last year, September. Every time the international game or the over east, and now it's in the Perth, and very touched to us. And I wish everybody can come. I know Wednesday against Japan, it's it's hard, but we will try. And everybody here, we all come to there. Nalu 1, Nalu 2, Nalu 3, 4, 5, Nalu 7, 11. Formosa!
Yeah! As you can see, this is a football city. People love it. The weather's fantastic. It's going to be an amazing tournament, and already 1 month out, people are excited here in Perth.
Oh, that's so awesome. All the cultures coming together. And thank you, Nick, for that incredible piece as well. But Aish, Matilda squad not out yet, but what's your feelings ahead of the tournament? What do you make of the makeup of the squad?
I'm actually feeling more confident after our last set of internationals against New Zealand. I'm getting the feeling that the cohesion is getting back, the confidence is back. I think some of the play in that, particularly that first game against New Zealand, was what we want to see from the Matildas, playing with freedom, playing with some bravery, and seeing players like Emily Van Egmond, coming back into form. We need the depth of the squad. We can't just rely on one goal scorer, even having Sam come back in. I think Joe Montemuro's been wonderful. Already you can see a huge change in the players, and that excites me for this tournament. I was probably a little bit worried previously, but after those 2 sets of internationals,
I think we're looking good up front, Aisha. There's no doubt about that. You're going to have Sam Kerr, Caitlin Ford's in form, Emily Van Egmond will be either up front or leading through the top part of the field. You also saw Mary Fowler get back on the park this weekend. So that is, all great things towards what we want to see, and that's lots of goals.
That's it, lots of goals. I think just the depth of the squad. I think we saw during the World Cup, there was the starting 11 and probably 3 substitutes. I think that depth in the squad, and again, not relying on just one goal scorer and people coming into form, means that we're in great shape to really be competitive at this tournament.
Well, one of those players set to feature at the Women's Asian Cup is Holly McNamara, may feature here today. And of course, don't forget that you can see Dub Zone every Wednesday, first at aleagues.com.au and the A-Leagues app. You can also catch it on YouTube and stream it for free on 10. I believe the new episode has just dropped before this game. So after this game finishes, you can go catch that one. Well, for the game today, Talia Yunus has been a real standout for the Western Sydney Wanderers. The stats don't quite do her justice. Of course, only 2 shots on goal, 26 touches, but she has been by far the most lively and also getting through a mountain of defensive work, and it was her corner that led to the only goal of the game so far. Whenever she gets the ball in City's defensive third, it seems that the Wanderers have their best opportunities. Well, if you are enjoying a spot of football, if you are one of those fans out there at Control Cyber Pitch today or any of the grounds around the A-Leagues, don't forget you can get your tickets to the Women's Asian Cup. Don't miss out.
This isn't just a seat in the stands. It's your ticket to fearless ambition, to roar with crowds, for young fans to see heroes up close, to watch world-class skill, grit and grace. This isn't just a tournament. It's a celebration of what's possible when the world watches women rise. Get your ticket to dream. AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026.
The start of the second half underway. Give you plenty of time to welcome back onto the pitch for Melbourne City and the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Well, welcome back to Control Cyber Pitch in Melbourne, where it is currently the bottom of the table, Western Sydney Wanderers leading top of the table, Melbourne City 1-0. And as a result, there has been 2 half-time substitutions for Melbourne City. They are to be expected. Holly McNamara, who started on the bench today as a way of rotation, given City's heavy schedule, comes on, as does Letitia McKenna in midfield. Both of these players, vital cogs for City. They struggled to create chances in the first half without them. Let's see what they can do in the second. Western Sydney Wanderers were highly effective in that low block in the first half. They are the team in the lead, and Melbourne City are the team chasing them down. Back underway for this second half. It would be a remarkable win if the Wanderers were able to get the job done here. They came into this game on the bottom of the table. This win would lift them 3 points above Sydney FC, who of course played tonight and could be back level. It would also be their 3rd consecutive 3 points if they were to get the job done. But there's confirmation of those substitutions. Letitia McKenna was on. Shelby McMahon, the player withdrawn from midfield, and 18 Keane, the other player, coming off after that unfortunate own goal that deflected off her. That is the only goal of the game so far. Here comes City. We expected this in the second half. What can they produce early on? Apostolakis, who was very busy in the first half, as was Henry. Letitia McKenna, the substitute, across the face, hooks, can get it away. Both teams appealing for their ball. Referee's decision is goal kick. So Melbourne City have conceded first this season on 5 occasions. They've come back to win once, draw once, and the other 3 times were their 3 defeats this season. So that counts against them, but we know that the DNA of this team, well, they just never quite go away. Last season in their undefeated home and away run, there were several occasions, I think up into double figures, where they conceded first and they still managed to not lose a home and away game. They just hung in there, come back. The majority of that team still here this campaign. They do know how to get themselves back into games. They're going to need all of that today. You can't imagine the Wanderers' plan is going to change. In fact, I suspect that it'll merely double down. Stay in that low block. Keep City as far away as possible. And hope that they can hold on in the second half. Apostolakis plays it back to Mires, her keeper. We did see the Wanderers press come out occasionally, and it's in those sorts of situations. Of course, City this half have a lot more firepower up top. Holly McNamara currently sitting on 11 goals this campaign in 12 games. She is such a talented player. She's expected to be there at the Asian Cup come March for the Matildas. She just scores goals for fun in this competition. On her day, she can be a level above. And it's not just the ability to score, it's her movement in behind, her pace, all of those things that make her such a good player. And Letitia McKenna as well coming on has been such an important part of this City team. She started every game up until this one. Such is the trust that Michael Matriciani has in her. And if Holly McNamara can be the player on the end of the balls, Letitia McKenna can often create them. Here's Stott shooting from distance. Just missing. I think the crowd thought for a moment like it had snuck in when they saw the net ripple.
Are we going to allow 30 seconds every goal kick?
And Rebecca Stott thought, well, if you guys aren't managing to score goals, I'll try and do it myself. The captain, the centre-back, she scored the spectacular before in very similar kinds of circumstances. Speaking of legends of the club, of the league, Rebecca Stott, 32 years of age, 132nd appearance for Melbourne City today. She also spent time at Brisbane very early in her career, 2010-11. Melbourne Victory as well before City came into the competition, but joined City from 2015. She's had a couple of overseas stints in that time, went to Brighton and Hove Albion a couple of times. And she really is part of the fabric of this club. McNamara can't get to that ball ahead of Karmas. Turner keeps possession. And already, this game of cat and mouse continues. And even less incentive for the Wanderers to try anything expansive, given that they are the side in the lead. Jackson. Crossfield ball, Matos cuts it out. Chisari get there ahead of McKenna. Beats her opposite number to the ball. That's a poor touch though from Wang Ying. Uchendu into McNamara. Devon Jackson tries of shoot from the crowd. Instead, City will play it back to Rossbacken. Rossbacken, always rising. The Wanderers probably won't mind if City keeps shooting from those sorts of distances. Yes, they have players capable of scoring and finding the back of the net, but that means that the Wanderers are doing their job. It means that they're keeping them out of the penalty area and preventing them from having those clear-cut opportunities. And Carly Rossbacken, she actually has the honour of being Canberra United's youngest goal scorer. That came against Melbourne City, in fact, all the way back, the 10th of December 2016. She was 15 years and 328 days old when she scored that goal for Canberra. She's from Queanbeyan originally Rossbacken, and came to Melbourne City in 2022 after spending a number of years at Canberra. Rossbacken also has played 8 times for the Matildas. She was part of the 2019 World Cup squad. Again, as always, great to hear the support in the crowd. Great to see the colour. Of course, the sky blue of Melbourne City featuring prominently at Control Cyber pitch. Uchendu winning out against Harrison, not able to get the shot away. City are appealing for a foul. Corner is the decision. And the question comes from the bench, was that not a pull? Well, you can be the judge after we see a replay of this. Harrison loses out to Uchendu. There is a grab of the arm. The referee's decision is that there wasn't enough of one to mean that there was a foul. City will have another chance from a corner though. Turner's left-footed delivery, Stott's header without any kind of purchase. Just trickles out for a throw that the Wanderers are in no hurry to take. Not quite parked the bus time at the 53-minute mark, but very comfortable, very happy with their lead. No need to rush things from a Wanderers perspective. Stotts and McNamara. How about that first touch as well? That's not easy. McNamara looking for the cross. Comes off hooks. Now for another corner. McNamara is certainly having a positive impact on this City attack already after coming on as a halftime substitute. Kostelakis with the opportunity to take the corner against her former club. Kostelakis is punched away by Karmas. Now for a corner. Wanderers thought that the last touch came off a City shirt. The referee disagreed. Caitlin Williams. And that's the correct decision by the referee there. And good goalkeeping from Sham Karmas to knock it away from goal. Goalkeepers punch in those situations because it can be very challenging to hold on to a catch when you've got players surrounding you. So that's why you go for the punch. Ideally, you want it to go further away than that. She's managed to prevent the immediate danger, which is the most important thing from her perspective. Turner's left-footed delivery again. This time, Karmas can claim. And we'll look to play it forward quickly up to Insard. Buchanan. Eunice. Clever from Eunice. Apostolakis, though, can't keep it in. Really smart work from Talia Yunus there to win her side the throw. And the cries from the bench, slow, slow, slow. Even at the 55-minute mark. Buchanan, Yunus. Hooks. Harrison, shallow pass. Chendu can't quite get there. Good recovery from Wang Ying. Matos now. Up to Yuan Kong. Inside the penalty area, Kong turns. Still Yuan Kong! Mirez got enough contact on it to send it behind for a corner. Well, this is the best opportunity of the second half so far. Yuan Kong does well to get past Stott, and then Apostolakis takes the shot on. Mirez made herself big. Saw it deflected behind. Sheer determination there from the Chinese international. Talia Yunus. Didn't even hit side netting, a disappointing result. So City looking to move as quick as possible, and it's Holly McNamara against Hooks here. Look at the pace of Holly McNamara. She'll keep the ball in the penalty area, across the face towards the back post. Henry couldn't get there in time. She put everything towards it. Karma's frustrated at her teammates that chance was created. Hooks was between a rock and a hard place there, because you don't want to lunge in for the challenge. You don't want to give away the foul. McNamara's curling effort just wide of the post. Well, that's something that the Wanderers are going to have to be aware of. We saw in the first half, for the most part, Melbourne City were quite good at predicting the counter-attack. Rebecca Stott would drop a few paces away from Yuan Kong and didn't really let them get in behind. The Wanderers have got to be careful of the exact same thing. It's in those moments of disorganised defence where Melbourne City have the best opportunities. That is where they will look to be able to break the Wanderers down. When the Wanderers are organised, that's the hardest part. You want to create that disorganisation in the defence. That's something that coaches talk about and practice. How do we create disorganisation in the opposition? And that right there, with Holly McNamara bursting forward, was an example of when the Wanderers are disorganised, City were able to get in behind, but then as the Wanderers, you just have to be alert in those situations. Take a couple of steps back and make sure that you're tracking that kind of run. City's press proving effective there. Matos not able to get the ball under control before it went out of play, much to the delight of the City fans. Wanderers, though, still in the lead, nearly 60 minutes gone in the game. Uchendu. McKenna. Apostolakis. Tried to play it in for Rosbach, and instead Harada will intercept. Harada's ball, though, in turn, intercepted by Otto, who's still going here. Taylor Otto, the big defender. Uchendu now towards the back post. McNamara was there. Couldn't get the contact. A wry smile on her face. She knows that was a dangerous ball. That's better from Uchendu. The 28-year-old scored against Sydney FC earlier in the season. She's signed from Nantes in France. She's also played in Portugal, Korea, Sweden and Turkey, so she's had a storied career. She was a part of the Nigerian 2019 World Cup squad, rather, the senior World Cup squad. Had made it out of the group stage. Apostolakis had a lot of the ball on that side. Rosbacken. Letitia McKenna. Just swarmed by red and black shirts. Chisari played it up to Yuan Kong. This ball back to Buchanan. Buchanan releasing inside. Look at the pace of Dan Turner, the 34-year-old, going stride for stride with the youngster, the 17-year-old Alyssa Insard. Insard had not even been born when Dan Turner was starting her career. And still managing to outpace her. And City maintaining that 70% possession that they had in the first half. It is taking on a similar complexion, albeit from a City perspective, perhaps a little bit less dour because the inclusion of the likes of McNamara and McKenna have made things a little bit more free-flowing. But still, they've not managed to find what they are looking for in terms of that goal. Turner. Taylor Otto all the way across. Rebecca Stott positioning herself further forward. Now the Wanderers will go. Eunice looking across to Insard. Heard cries of go, 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 but Devon Jackson will get there ahead of Insard. Good hustle from the Kiwi, and now it's Jackson striding forward. Uchendu looking to turn, looking to shoot perhaps. Her pass to Henry intercepted. Eunice won't get there ahead of Apostolakis though. Her ball in straight to Karmas, who takes up every possible second that she can. That's the experience of Sham Karmas there. And Apostolakis, well, this is a good learning experience for her. She is on the fringes of being considered for that Asian Cup squad. Made her debut last year. Of course, for Matilda's fans, they will expect to come up against teams who are playing just like the Wanderers are playing today. That low block, defensively sturdy, frustrating the opposition. If you want to be a player at that elite level, you need to remain patient and find a way to break teams down. City have 30 minutes or so to do so here. McKenna. Too much on it for Uchendu. Roll out for a Wanderers throw. Unfortunately for City, Uchendu has taken a seat. Perhaps a problem with the left foot. Physio is being called. Was missing today for Melbourne City in midfield, Leah Davidson, Laura Hughes. But Danny Butcherus up top has turned out to be a big miss. This is her 4th game out with a concussion. The 18-year-old hasn't scored in the league yet. Scored a couple of times in the Asian Women's Champions League. But more than anything, has looked extremely lively. Has been able to bamboozle opposition, create chances. Wouldn't they love to have her as an option today? The attacking options that they do have remaining on the bench, Kaya Jugovic, 17 years of age. She can score goals, has done so for Football Victoria's NTC program. Because next season in the NPL, that program won't exist. It'll be Cities and Victory's academies. Just taking a look at where that injury might have occurred for Uchendu. Maybe on the kick there. Maybe just twisting the ankle. The other option on the bench for City is the 20-year-old Caitlin Carriage, who has scored twice in this competition. It would be her 30th appearance if she came on, but she's been struggling with a knee injury. And then, of course, Ellie Wilson, the English woman, 28 years of age. No starts as of yet. She started the season with a shoulder injury, had to battle through a concussion of her own. Debuted against her former club, Melbourne Victory, did Ellie Wilson earlier in the season, the 28-year-old. So there are the options for Michael Matriciani, but Uchendu continuing for now. You'd imagine that he'll be thinking about those changes. What can he do to roll the dice as these minutes tick down? He's generally one of the more reluctant coaches to use his bench. Here comes City now, Uchendu. Riley Henry, shot blocked away. Good defensive positioning from the Wanderers yet again. Rebecca Stott intercepts that pass. Henry. Uchendu. Henry. Her delivery, Karmas gets there ahead of McNamara. There'll be a moment here as these two players collide. McNamara just checking, making sure Karmas is okay. Yeah, nothing in that, really. Both players just challenging for the ball. McNamara trying to almost brace herself on the impact. Karmas copped a knock late in the Sydney derby on the weekend. McNamara back up on her feet and walking. She's a tough cookie, Holly McNamara. 3 ACLs. When she came back from the third one, she told the media that she was looking this time to seek out contact. You could see she kind of burst onto the scene in her first spell in the competition. Did an ACL, came back, was quite tentative. So we have a look at this contact again. Yeah, just a bit of a heavy knock. Karmas perhaps winded there, receiving treatment in her stomach area. Yeah, McNamara had a burst onto the scene, did 1 ACL, came back as good as ever, looked incredible, did a second ACL, her third in her life, in her career. And after she came back from that one, she said, you know what, I'm going to seek out contact, I'm going to not be so scared, because in that middle period between ACL number 2 and 3, there were times where she looked a bit tentative, a bit concerned, as you would be, especially as a youngster on this kind of stage. But now she embraces that contact, she embraces that challenge, and you can see the difference in her game, that confidence. And it is something that has come with age as well. She's still only 23. But she is just an exceptional player and fantastic to watch in this competition while we can. You'd imagine there are plenty of clubs watching a goal-a-game player in the Ninja A-League. They don't grow on trees. And City need some of that goal scoring here because the ball is back in play. City are running out of time to find this equaliser or this winner. That will ultimately be what they're after. Buchanan. Inside. She's stayed on side. Buchanan trying to help it to Yuan Kong. Rebecca Stott gets there first. Again, Rebecca Stott just showing all of her experience there to get in front and draw the foul. We'll see the first substitution for the Western Sydney Wanderers here, and it's Kush the Roo coming on the park. She's replacing Yuan Kong. The 25-year-old Chinese international had an impact today, wasn't able to get on the score sheet for her second consecutive game. Well, Kush the Roo, this is her third game of the season off the bench. She started injured. The 2 games she's appeared in have been against the Mariners, which is a win, and against Sydney FC, which was a win. So she's got a 100% record so far this season, Kush the Roo, for the Wanderers. From a Wanderers perspective, they'll be hoping that that run can continue here today. Their lucky charm coming on off the bench so far this season. Shendu wins a corner. And Melbourne City is set piece chance. The flags just indicating there that there is a bit of helpful wind here for Turner if she can hook it in, make things difficult. Here is that delivery. McKenna can't get there at the back post, so it goes out for a goal kick. Much to the relief of the Wanderers' defence. We talked before about City's record when conceding first. They've only come back once this season to win, once to draw, and their 3 defeats have always been when conceding first. From a Wanderers perspective, when they've scored first, they've done so 4 times. They've won 2 of them, drawn 1 of them, and lost 1 of them. So pretty good record of holding on to a lead this season. Not too much of a sample size. Again, they haven't looked overly troubled at all, despite City's possession. Will it wear on them, though, as the half and the game begins to wind down? City will go up an extra gear. We know that. We know they have those gears in them. The Wanderers have been structured. They've been determined. They've been organised. And it's a real credit to them what they've been able to do over these past couple of weeks. We first saw this against the Mariners, not so much against Sydney. This is a clear game plan against the defending premiers, against, I don't think arguably, probably almost certainly, the best credentialed team in the league. Stott's ball is cleared away by Hooks. And they've managed to execute it very, very well so far. Henry. Bradley Henry against Matos. Straight into the arms of Karmas. Long ball for Karmas. Saad did manage to win the header from Turner, but can only play it straight into City's midfield. Spacken's done well to win that. And the ball launched forward straight away. Hooks will head it away. Chendu, Yunus trying to find Ansad. Stott wins the header. Tries to retain the ball. Not quite heated on that occasion. McNamara often chasing against Buchanan. She'll reel it in. Buchanan is worried here. She knows she's up against McNamara, but is with her every step of the way. Good technique from Ella Buchanan. Push the Roo, the substitute. Getting a touch there. Wang Ying. Matos. Around the corner for Yunus. And Yunus going to ground. Mirez to Rossbakken. Stott. Forced backwards. Knew exactly where Apostolakis would be, though. That's what City do. They're very good at playing out in these types of situations. And when you do press them, when you do go too far forward, they can exploit you. McNamara against Hooks. Devon Jackson. Back to McNamara. Letitia McKenna thought about finding a shooting angle. Instead, Jackson. Great work from Devon Jackson. This is the target. Amy Harrison, the Wanderers captain, a little bit frustrated there that she was able to find the chance to shoot. That's just good work, though. Drew Hooks in. And then was able to move around her and find the angle towards goal. The Wanderers fans watching from back home will be counting down every second now as we approach the final 15 minutes of the game. Hasn't been overly exciting for the neutral, but it's been effective. And from a Wanderers perspective, that is all they care about, effectiveness, winning games of football, dragging themselves from the bottom of the table, and perhaps even into a late finals run. Only 4 total shots for the Wanderers, their goal coming in the first half, an own goal from a corner. Not even a shot that time, it deflected off 18 Keane at the back post from a Talia Yunus corner. And Melissa Barbieri will never stop believing on the Melbourne City bench. That's her you can hear encouraging her teammates on, encouraging them to enact the press, to squeeze the Wanderers, to win possession high. Again, that's the key for City. They will want to catch the Wanderers out in a disorganised phase of play where they can really make their attacking weapons work. McKenna. Letitia McKenna drags it wide. Put her eyes up, looking towards goal. Not a bad idea. Ellie Wilson, the English woman, being prepared to come on to make her 8th appearance of the season. And indeed, that change will occur now. So Wilson will replace Alexia Apostolakis, which seems to indicate that Wilson will take up her position at right back. Wilson, of course, played last season for cross-city rivals Melbourne Victory as a fullback. Ciani has used her in an attacking role this season. Maybe that is why she's come on as well, because she can provide those attacking attributes as they search for this equaliser. And here she is now in a very advanced role, putting pressure on Matos straight away, so perhaps an indication of how she's expected to have an impact in these final 15 minutes or so. McKenna. Harrison is there to clear away. Now the chase is on, and Sard again can't get there ahead of Turner. That's fun. Literally half her age, Dan Turner. Able to keep up. Devon Jackson keeps it in from the byline. Wilson is there, goes to ground, appeals from City. But it's called back because the offside flag was raised. Well, there are just glimpses for City. As this game goes on, there are more and more of them. In the first half, City really never got a sniff. Now, it is looking more and more likely that they will find a way, but time is running out. And every second that the Wanderers keep possession like this is valuable. Uchendu. Turner can't keep it in. So another change for the Wanderers. And it's Amy Barker coming on for only her 2nd appearance in the competition. She'll replace Amy Chisari, who's been an absolute workhorse in midfield for the Wanderers. Barker, 17 years of age, she debuted back in round 4. Has come through Sydney University and then the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy in the NPLW New South Wales, a midfielder. So perhaps just some fresh legs. Chisari, not 100% fit. She wasn't meant to start in the Sydney derby, but did because of a late injury to Liv Price, who isn't in the matchday squad today. The status of Holly Caspers also, who went off in the derby with what looked to be a knee injury, not confirmed by the club, so not clear on how serious that injury is, but she's not in the matchday squad either. And hopefully nothing serious for either of those players, but it provides opportunities for people like Barker who can come in and show the competition exactly what they can do and why they are here on this stage. The header from Wilson after the cross in. Easily claimed by Karmas. Here is the substitute Barker. And wins a foul, so that's a good result as we tick past 80 minutes of this game. And Poppy Hawks happy to play it all the way back to Karmas, make City come to them, And then launch it back into midfield. Harada can't win the header. McNamara playing in a wide position again. She did so on the weekend against Adelaide as well. Rebecca Stott. Briley Henry. Back to Stott again. Look how deep the Wanderers are now. Every player counts in their third. Wang Ying wins the header. Eunice. Out to Barker. Barker had to be quicker with her decision-making there. Taken away by Otto. McNamara. Jackson. Jackson trying to get around Buchanan, being urged to do so by the bench. Buchanan with her every step. The offside flag will prevent City from going any further. It is more valuable seconds off the clock for the Wanderers. There is no big drought against Melbourne City at stake here, but what there is for the Wanderers is an opportunity to lift themselves off the bottom of the table, an opportunity to go 3 consecutive victories. It would be consecutive defeats for Melbourne City. They still have 8 minutes to ensure that doesn't happen. Turner, high delivery, Karmas is there. Wilson appealing for the foul and gets it. A high boot means that City will have a set-piece chance. Indeed, a handball it was from Hooks. Let's not forget, there was that very credible shout for a handball in the first half that would have seen Melbourne City receive a penalty. That was before the Wanderers scored. How different would the complexion of the game be? Here's the set-piece delivery. It's high, it's too close to Karmas. Who can claim? We have to go back to January 2024 to see the last time that Melbourne City were defeated in 2 consecutive games. They've still got time to prevent that outcome. Ball delivered in the middle, headed away. Past leaping McNamara in the penalty area. Now here comes Barker, the substitute. Wouldn't that be a moment? The 17-year-old Amy Barker was able to get on the end of an opportunity and seal the 3 points for her side. That's what she'll be hoping for. Stott. Long ball forward, cleared away yet again. Harada. Matos. Wang Ying. Push the Roo, pressuring Rebecca Stott and now Taylor Otto. Reminder, 2 appearances for Kush the Roo for the Wanderers this season, 2 wins. Can she make it 3 from 3? The ball down the line for Henry. Wang Ying does well, wins the duel. Inside wins out, but it comes back to Rebecca Stott, who is wandering further and further forward as the game goes on. Cross, Karmas. Safe hands, safe keeper. Exactly who you want in this situation. Made her debut in this competition for Sydney FC all the way back in 2012. Her first season in the Ninja A-League. She has seen it all. been first choice, been backup. Multiple different clubs in all kinds of situations. She'll be pulling out all of her bag of tricks to help the Wanderers to this victory here. Here's Rossbacken. Carly Rossbacken. Uchendu was there. Karmas missed it. In the end, no serious consequence for the Wanderers. Well, Karmas came out for this one. That was almost a commentator's curse situation. She didn't manage to clear that away coming off her line. It does mean they have to defend this corner though. And it will be all hands on deck helping to do so. The referee spotted a foul in the build-up. Karmas did fall backwards as she punched that one away, and that is no doubt what the referee saw. City were pressing high on Karmas. It is an established corner tactic. You want to try and put the keepers off. Well, I don't really see a foul in there, but perhaps the more eagle-eyed among our viewers can. Certainly the referee did.
Yes, please. Yep. Hey, your hands! Yes, G.
Uchendu trying to head it forward. Eunice, a head clash in midfield with McKenna. Play will continue though. Jackson turning away from Barker and now into the penalty area. McNamara, Holly McNamara. Karmas will dive on it. We will have to stop play here because Letitia McKenna is still down. With any kind of head injury, you need to get treatment for it.
Do you guys want to do you want to do yours?
So here she is challenging for the ball against Eunice, and then yeah, just a clash. Yeah, that looks a very painful one for McKenna. She did her best to keep playing as well because this chance is continuing, and for the sake of her team, she tried to keep playing, just couldn't quite do so. Well, fascinating substitution here from the Wanderers. It's Alana Cern, who's making her first appearance since Canberra United 5 games ago. She comes on to replace captain Amy Harrison in defence. So Alana Cern entrusted with playing out these final few minutes plus stoppages. And then another substitution for Melbourne City, their final one that they'll be able to make. Shinaza Uchendu making way for the prodigious talent of Caitlin Carrick. Only her 3rd appearance of the season. She's been at City for a long time, Carrick, 5 seasons in total. Only her 30th appearance. Every interested watcher in Victorian women's football knows that she can create special, special moments. Uchendu tried hard, was involved in a lot. Wasn't able to create those clear-cut chances that City needed. The Wanderers in some space. Perhaps here is Barker. Barker perhaps caught in 2 minds of taking it to the corner. Kushlaru has no doubt. Although a very heavy touch. Maybe not what she was thinking. Eunice goes to ground and City win the ball. Buchanan wins it straight back. Carrick involved. See heavy strapping on that right knee of Caitlin Carrick. That's been her issue this season and why this is only her 3rd appearance of the campaign. She has a lot of enthusiasm whenever she comes on the park. She'll be hoping to get the ball at her feet to show what she can do. All of this suits the Wanderers wonderfully. Winning repeated throw-ins, keeping the ball in the corner.
City fans, the fourth official has indicated a minimum.
Melbourne City will have 6 minutes to get themselves a point in this game or more. We've seen plenty of strange things happen in stoppage time in the Ninja A-League over the years, let alone this season. Can they get it done in front of their home fans? Or will it be consecutive defeats? Henry lifting it towards the back post. Absolutely no one was there, so it'll trickle out of play. Trajani urging his players on. 6 minutes, come on, he's saying, as a lot of Melbourne City fans watching at home. And at the Control Cyber pitch today. Stott, can she fashion something special? She'll play it wide for Ross Backen. Ross Backen's delivery. Hooks rises. Still in the air. Opportunities if City can have it full kindly. They didn't, and now Kush LaRue off and running. She will just try and run for the hills, and McKenna will successfully prevent her. Well, if they weren't parking the bus before, they certainly are now. They've got 4.5 minutes to hold on. Stott. Ross Backen. Talia Ross Backen. Again into the dangerous area, but again Eunice is the one to rise highest. What a performance from her. McNamara forced to come all the way back to the halfway line to get there ahead of Barker. Mirez wheeling it forward. Ross Backen. Briley Henry up against Harada. Henry does really well. Now the delivery again. Alana Cern, the substitute, does well. Edge of the area, Taylor Otto. They'll try again, City. Try and try and try again. Ross Backen. Ross Backen looking for a cross. Briley Henry looking for a path into the penalty area. A cross. A timid one. And Wanderers will have the opportunity to soak an extra couple seconds off the clock with this goal kick. Something that the referee, Caitlin Williams, is more than aware of. Three minutes to hold on for the Wanderers. Bottom of the table coming into this game against top of the table Melbourne City. Sham Khamis will have to contend with a yellow card, but that will be of minimal concern for her if they can get through these dying stages. Stott, her ball into the box. Cern's header skims away and out for a City corner. Well, the only goal of the game so far came as a result of a corner from this very side. In this very half of the pitch. Will history repeat itself to City's advantage? McKenna. Khamis can't hold on. She's saying it came off Otto. The referee agrees. A goal kick. Well, it's not quite the way she would have hoped to earn a goal kick there, Khamis, but the ends justify the means. She's come up to claim this. Wasn't able to hold on, and then the onrushing Osso, who so often has been so successful for City in those situations, takes it out of play. Barker trying to help it forward, but Otto is there and is there ahead of Insard. So here they go again. Ross Backen again going forward. Carrick has her shot deflected away. And then Briley has Wilson in the way, and then McKenna has a teammate in the way, and eventually her shot comes to Khamis. That was a very resigned, don't shoot Briley from the bench there. City wanting their players to have more of a clear sight, more of an opportunity before they give the ball away. Two players to the ground. Wanderers win the free kick. Only 1 minute to go, but this is a big problem here for City because Ellie Wilson has gone to ground in a world of pain. Oh yeah, her ankle was caught by Harada on the way through. That's a really, really painful one. And as City look towards perhaps a second consecutive defeat, this would be a terrible outcome if that is as bad as it looks.
One minute from when we start.
You heard that there from the fourth official, 1 minute from when we start. So whenever that is, City will have 1 minute to try and find this goal. This is really distressing scenes for Ellie Wilson here. Going through all the tests, let's hope that that's just a painful one, but it doesn't look good at all, unfortunately. And Wilson will be able to walk off the pitch on her own steam, so that's a good sign. But after all that she's been through in the last 12 months, shoulder surgery, long concussion, that's a really sad sight for City fans, for A-Leagues fans. Well, it does mean that there will be one last substitution for City here. Kaya Jugovic, the 17-year-old, gets 1 more minute in her A-League women's career. City had used 3 substitution windows, but the half-time one doesn't count, so it means that Jugovic is able to make her way on. So 1 minute for Melbourne City to avoid consecutive defeats. 1 minute for the Western Sydney Wanderers to hold on for 3 consecutive victories to lift themselves off the bottom of the table and to give themselves hope that there might even be finals football in their future. There is no other way but quickly and long here for City. Otto. Rebecca Stott. Stott's long ball headed away by Wang Ying. McKenna. Rothbacken. Cutting inside, seeing something encouraging. The cross. Turner can only kick it wide. That might be that, you know. Would be a massive win for the Wanderers if they can do it. A committed defensive performance, an organised, structured defence. And they have done it. The Ninja A-League continues to throw up surprises. Bottom of the table, Western Sydney Wanderers have defeated top of the table, Melbourne City. They did so through a first half goal from a corner, an own goal of 18 Keane at the back post. That corner delivered by the young gun, Talia Yunus. It's a clean sheet for Sham Khamis, one that she'll be utterly delighted in. For the Wanderers, 3 consecutive wins. For City, consecutive defeats for the first time since January 2024. Full time in Melbourne, it is Melbourne City 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. So it was a game of few chances, but still plenty of intrigue, as the Wanderers have managed to overcome Melbourne City here. Talia Yunus involved in almost everything attacking-wise for the Wanderers, and defensively as well. She was wonderful.